So, when you hear the word Linux, what's the first thing that pops into your head? For a lot of folks, it's this image of super dense, complicated code. Something that's really only for elite programmers. But what if I told you that's not the whole story? What if Linux is actually one of the most user-friendly, customizable, and, creative platforms you can get your hands on? Let's dive in and see what hacking Linux is really all about.
This quote from the author of our source material just hits the nail on the head. It perfectly captures why so many people make the switch. It wasn't about being some kind of expert, it was about stability. It was about finally escaping that maddening cycle of the 3 Rs. For them, Linux just worked.
And that leads us right to the big question, right? The myth we're here to bust. Is Linux really just for the pros? Is it this scary, command-line-only beast that normal people can't touch? Well, to answer that, we first have to get on the same page about one very, very important word.
And that word is, of course, hack. Before we can really talk about Linux, we have to completely redefine what hacking actually means.
See, on one hand, you've got the Hollywood version, right? The person in a dark room breaking into secure systems. But in the real world of programming, calling something a hack is actually a huge compliment. It means you found a clever, quick, maybe even a little quirky, but totally elegant solution to a tricky problem. It's all about making something do exactly what you want it to do.
And this ties into a core philosophy called the hacker ethic. It's got nothing to do with destruction. It's all about creative participation. It's about looking at a piece of technology, seeing how someone else did something cool with it, and then learning from that creativity. It's a whole mindset built on sharing knowledge, where we all learn by doing, and then showing others how we did it.
Okay, so with this new creative idea of hacking in our minds, let's go bust our first myth. And we're going to start in the one place that scares people the most, the command line.
Ah, yes, the command line. For so many people, it's this blinking cursor in a black box. It just looks complicated and scary, something only a systems administrator would love. But that's just not the whole picture, not even close.
So this is where you usually start. It's plain, it's functional, but it's not exactly inspiring, is it? It tells you who you are and where you are, and that's about it. But with one simple little hack, we can make it so much more.
And check out how clever this is. There's this tiny command called tput, and it basically lets you boss the terminal around. So all this little script does is say, hey computer, remember where the cursor is right now? Now, jump it up to the top right corner, print out the name of the folder I'm in, make it a cool color by the way, and then pop the cursor right back where it started. See? It's not scary code, it's just a few simple, elegant instructions.
And this is just a brilliant example of the power of a tiny, simple hack. So let's see what the result looks like.
And boom, there you have it. With just a few lines of code, you've made something that's not only useful, but it actually looks cool. Suddenly, the command line isn't just a tool for getting work done, it's your own personal canvas. You've hacked it to make it yours.
Okay, that's pretty neat. So we can be creative with the command line. But what about the graphical desktop itself? The part with the icons and windows. Surely that's all locked down and rigid, right? Well, that brings us right to our second myth.
This is another one of those huge misconceptions. People just assume that, like with other operating systems, you kind of get what you get. Sure, you can change the wallpaper, but the core functionality? That's fixed. Or is it?
I absolutely love this example because it's so human. This isn't some high-level technical problem. This is about helping someone you love use their computer without getting frustrated. It's about tailoring the experience to fit a real person's needs, or maybe even protecting them from accidentally breaking things.
So how do you get that kind of power? Let's check out another hack, and you might be surprised to find out that it doesn't involve writing some big, complex application. Oh no, it is much simpler than that.
So, what's the secret? Get this. It all comes down to simple text files. With just a few lines in a plain old text file, you can add your own custom options to the right-click menu. I mean, imagine making a file executable with a single click instead of typing out a command. Or how about adding cool little gadgets to your desktop that show you your system info or the weather? It's not about being a master programmer. It's about being the architect of your own desktop.
All right, so we've made our command line cool, and our desktop works exactly the way we want it to. But our computers don't exist in a vacuum. What about connecting to the outside world? And this brings us to our third and final myth.
Now, this might have had a kernel of truth, like decades ago, but today, it couldn't be further from reality. The myth is that Linux is this isolated system that just doesn't play nicely with your other gadgets, like your smartphone.
Let's just blow this myth right out of the water with a super practical hack using your mobile phone to get your Linux laptop on the internet absolutely anywhere.
And once again, just look at how simple the process is. First, you run a command to scan for nearby Bluetooth devices. Your phone pops up with its unique hardware address. From there, another simple script just uses that address to create a connection. And that's it, you're online. No complex network configuration, just a couple of clever commands working together.
And just like that, your Linux laptop is no longer chained to a Wi-Fi hotspot. It's truly mobile. It's not an island at all. It's the center of your connected world, using the devices you already have in powerful and creative new ways.
So we've busted some myths, and we've totally redefined what it even means to be a hacker. So what's the big takeaway here? What does this all mean for you?
This final quote just captures the spirit of this whole thing perfectly. Hacking, in this positive sense, is really an invitation. It's a call to action. It's telling you to stop being just a passive consumer of your technology and to start creatively participating with it. It's about sharing clever ideas and empowering everyone to take control of their own tools.
Because ultimately, your computer isn't some mysterious magical box. It's a tool. It's like a hammer or a paintbrush. It's a platform for your own creativity. So the only question left, the really important one, is the one you see right here. What will you build with it?